안녕하세요, it's Jia. Today, let's make kimchi, Napa cabbage kimchi. In Korea, 배추 kimchi is the most popular one and it's a representative food of Korea. We're going to start from splitting the cabbage. I want you to take out a few leaves that is broken, the outer leaves, and save it for later. Okay, now we're going to split this part, the root part. You don't need to cut all the way down, just cut about half and then you can split this way. This is still big, so I want to split once more. So I'm cutting the Napa cabbage in 4 pieces. Okay. The first process to make a kimchi, we need to brine the cabbage. Brining means to salt the cabbage. So we need lots of salt. Prepare the coarse salt, not the table salt, and water. Before salting or brining the cabbage, we want to cut this part a little bit because it makes easier to brine the cabbage. Leave a little bit. If you cut too much, it's going to split apart. Let's make a salt water. We need 2 liters of water that is in room temperature, and I prepare coarse salt. The cabbage that we're using today weighs 4 kilograms, so we're using 400 grams of salt for brining, but I'm going to add only half of this to water, and another half I want to save for later. The salt used for brining is 10% of the weight of the cabbage. So if you're using a cabbage that weighs 3 kilograms, use 300 grams of coarse salt. So once it's dissolved, so we're technically adding salt water to it so that it can easily get brined. We have saved half amount of the coarse salt. So take a handful of salt and sprinkle in between the cabbage, mainly on the thick part of the leaf, the white part. The green part is going to get brined automatically because we have enough salt in here. It's all salted, and just sprinkle generously over the cabbage. The purpose of brining the cabbage is not to salt or season the cabbage, it's to take out the moisture out from the vegetable so that we can keep longer and make it tastier and bring a crunchy texture. And with the leaves that we took cover it. Dried kelp makes a beautiful broth. Just pour water to dried kelp and set it aside for 30 minutes. And there's one more thing that we need to make. We call it 찹쌀풀. Literally, it means starch glue, which means starch porridge. Today I'm using 찹쌀, which is sticky rice powder. You can substitute this to a flour, all-purpose flour. Here I have about half cup of water. It's room temperature. And add about half tablespoon of sticky rice powder to it. So mix well, and we're going to put this in a microwave oven and then just cook for 30 seconds. And then mix again, another 30 seconds, and then the porridge is there. We cook this total 1 minute in microwave oven, and this is the consistency that we want. It's quite thick, isn't it? So it's gonna cool down and it's gonna get thicker. Let's wait. Now we want to make a stuffing and a paste for our kimchi. We're using, this is daikon radish, white radish. We want to julienne. Next is Asian pear. We're using about quarter of Asian pear. Today we are not using any sugar or syrup. For natural sweetness, we're using Asian pear. If you don't have this, you can substitute to an apple as well. And the scallion. We're using only scallion, but normally we tend to use half amount scallion and another half buchu, which is Korean chive. This is optional. To bring a natural flavor, deep flavor, umami to our kimchi, I like to use a few anchovies, dried anchovies, and make this in a powder. For the anchovies, take the head part and the guts. We're going to use this as a natural MSG. The next is garlic and ginger. Done. And now it has been 2 hours, so we're going to turn it over so that it gets evenly salted. And I want to show you, compare how it should look like. So this cabbage, I brined it about 6 hours ago, and I rinsed, washed, drained. So you want this part bendable. It doesn't fully bend like this, but it's flexible like this. If you see, this cabbage is still tough, right? So it needs another 2 hours. 2 hours later, it's gonna shrink and look like this. This is what we want. The Napa cabbage is done. I brined this for 4 hours and then rinsed for 3 times and drained. It's well drained. Now I want to make the stuffing. Let's combine garlic and ginger. And this is anchovy fish sauce. Today we're using 2 different types of fish sauce. This is salted shrimp. Since it's very small, I'm just adding small amount of salted shrimp. If you cannot this 새우젓, the salted shrimp, you can substitute just to fish sauce, any fish sauce. And this is dried anchovy powder and the rice porridge that we made, along with gochugaru, Korean chili flakes. For 1 head of Napa cabbage, we normally use 1 cup. I like to use 1 cup of gochugaru, Korean chili flakes. Here, there's one more thing that we're missing. This is the kelp broth. It has been in a room temperature for about 30 minutes. And once the radish is all well colored, then add the scallions to it. And then mix again. Okay, the stuffing is ready. And the cabbage is ready too. Put prepared cabbage in here and hold this way. So this is a traditional way of making kimchi. Pick a little bit of stuffing and put in between the leaves. Put more on the bottom part again. Don't worry about the leaf part. And then the next leaf. Page 2. Page 3. And push down a little bit. Put more on the root part and just rub a little bit on the leaf part. Push down. Good. And then gently massage it. And there's an outer leaf, the bottom leaf, 1 or 2 of this. Hold this way and fold this in half. Using the outer leaf, you want to wrap. If you want to make it smaller, cut this part and split. Again, stuff in between. Okay. The easiest way, you just fold this in half. Okay. Sort of airtight and put in a container. Okay. Our kimchi is done. I recommend to put this kimchi in a room temperature for at least 6 hours to 1 day, and then put in a refrigerator, wait another 1 day. From the 3rd day, you may eat. Of course, you need to cut in a small bite sizes and serve with your meal. The kimchi fermentation is a natural fermentation, which means that we didn't use any starter for it, and we can't stop the fermentation. So the kimchi taste will change. It's gonna turn sour on your 2nd or 3rd week. Don't throw it away. Then you can stir fry with meat or tofu. I hope you liked my kimchi recipe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.